5-minute
call. This is your 5-minute call with Cessalee Stovall.
Hey, what's up? This is your 5-minute call with Cessalee Stovall. Today we have on the line Mr. L. Stephen Taylor. Stephen's top 5 are as follows. Number 1, he is currently on the national tour of The Lion King, but he has also been a part of the Broadway company as well. Number 2, he was on The Electric Company, which you might have seen on PBS. Number 3, he did Songs for a New World, which is one of my favorite shows, out in Seattle. He is originally from Indianapolis, Indiana, just like I am, and he went to Arsenal Technical High School. His number 5 is, although he is a big guy, he is a fierce tumbler. What's up, Steven? How you doing?
What's happening? Good.
I'm good. Good to see you. So let's just jump right in. Question number 1 for you is, tell me a little bit about your journey from, tech, from Indy, getting to New York, and where you are now.
At Arsenal Technical High School, I was supposed to be a part of the foreign language magnet there, and I was going to be taking Arabic. We didn't have a teacher for like the first 3 months of class, so our guidance counselors separated all of the kids in that class, put me in beginning choir, and then the choir director, Cindy Hartshorn over at Tech, kind of took me under her wing and groomed me into the musical theater fierceness that I am today. But yeah, from there, I didn't go. I mean, from being from Indiana, there's not a whole lot of opportunity to make a living at theater. So my degree is actually in education. So I taught preschool for 3 years while doing theater recreationally in Indianapolis. One of the theaters that we both worked for, actually, American Cabaret, was starting a theater company in Seattle, which didn't go so well. But another friend of ours was like, "Hey, you should come and check out Seattle. It's a great place to raise a family, and also there's this thriving theater community." So I went out and auditioned there. Aaron and I and Stephen Jr., baby Stephen Jr. at the time, we packed up, moved out to Seattle, and I have been doing theater ever since.
Awesome. That's awesome. So for you, what was the breakthrough moment? What was like the moment for you in your career?
It started with that move to Seattle. Definitely, coming from Indiana, like that small town kind of mentality, there's not a whole lot of people who make it out of there. And so for us to kind of trust that, everything was going to be all right and make the move to Seattle, which was indeed like a really big theater community. I learned a lot, worked with some fantastic people, the Fifth Avenue Theater, which produced everything, Aladdin, before its pre-Broadway run, Hairspray, like all of these things. So I got to work and learn from some really cool people. So that was probably the start of, my breakthrough moment. And that was really, discovering myself as a performer too at that time, because nobody knew me.
Right.
So it was into a completely different scene where nobody knows who you are and trying to make a name for yourself.
What's the most memorable moment for you?
Probably when I got the call to come and be in the company of Lion King on Broadway. I was doing Miss Saigon at the Fifth Avenue Theater. And we were all sitting on lunch on our lunch break, and I had auditioned for Lion King over the course of like 3 years. You know what I mean? Like literally over the course of 3 years, I had auditioned maybe 12 times, and so it was completely out of my mind. And so we were sitting in lunch on break from Miss Saigon, and I got a call. He said, "Hi, this is Mark Brandon from Bender Casting." And he's like, "Can I speak to Steven?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Are you ready to come to Broadway?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, we want you to come to Broadway and do The Lion King." And so when I did come to New York, and it was only a temporary placement, spot. So that was another, kind of leap of faith. But after those 6 months, and they offered me the Mufasa contract on the road, and so everything kind of, started happening. So I can still remember that feeling of sitting there on lunch and getting that phone call.
Okay, so the next question that is burning in the minds of all young people: what is your favorite pizza topping?
Oh my gosh, this is very serious. I take pizza very seriously.
As you should.
For the first time, in DC, there's a place that is called We the Pizza. I don't know if you've ever been there, but they make this pizza called a truffle pizza. And it's these mushrooms that are on there, and I don't know what they do to the mushrooms. But that is my favorite pizza in the entire world. If I could pack up and freeze like 30 boxes of it and take it on the road with me, I would.
All right, well, we'll make sure they see in this video. And the last question is, if you could tell your 15, 16-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I would say to stay open and take class, because I think that's one of the biggest things that I mean, not really regret, because I've learned so many things, but I've learned them the hard way. Had I taken dance classes and acting classes or voice lessons when I was that young, I had a lot of natural talent. So I didn't feel like, not that I didn't need it, but it wasn't easily accessible to me, and so I didn't make the effort to go out and seek those things. So I would tell myself to definitely stay in dance, stay in acting classes and stay in voice lessons, and then just stay open to all other types of things, because you never know what you're gonna use. I booked a gig because I could juggle one time, and it was so random. That's not why I ended up going to the audition. So stay open, take class.
That's really good advice. Well, thank you so much, Stephen, for being a part of the 5-minute call. It's been lovely to have you, and I know it's about your call time in Montreal, so break a leg tonight.
Thank you. Good talking to you, Cessalee.
You too. Bye.
Bye.